Hello and welcome to the Daily Mail for Friday the 15th of July 2022. Today was a match day. We played a friendly against League 2 Colchester United and we ended up winning 1-0. So this is the match report from newsagenda.co.uk, and they are using a picture from Dartford. Do not be confused. Millwall secured a 1-0 win in their fourth friendly game in the pre-season. Jake Cooper scored the only goal of the game when he converted Murray Wallace's long throw from close range at the end of the first half. The Lions pushed to find a second goal after the break, but Colchester goalkeeper Sha'mar kept denying the visitors. Isaac Olofi and Scott Malone went close to doubling their lead, but Gary Rowett ultimately had to settle for a 1-0 win. Match details: Millwall had a number of chances to take the lead early on, but Colchester withheld their pressure. Kavanagh forced the corner in the 4th minute, but the Lions couldn't capitalise. The tempo of the match suddenly decreased, with both sides able to put men behind the ball and press irregularly. That was until just after the half-hour mark when Jake Cooper caught Sha'mar with a late tackle. Yeah, it was a bit of a cruncher. The Hughes midfielder, who has suffered multiple long-term injuries in his career, had to be stretched off, while the Millwall centre-back picked up a yellow card for the foul. Yes, and let's hope that Sha'mar is fine. I don't know how he is so far. Looked like a bad one. Good luck to him. Hopefully he's not. It's just a bruise and he'll be back. You don't want to be injuring people in pre-season, do we, Jake? Cooper would find himself in the thick of action once again in first half added time, meeting Murray with his long throw in to head the ball over Sha'mar in the Colchester goal. It was enough to give the Lions the lead going into the break, although Sean Hutchinson came inches away from putting them 2-0 up from a corner seconds later. Colchester came close to scoring from set pieces themselves, with Tom Easton's header being saved by George Long from well taken Luke Hannett corner. Millwall pushed for a second goal but found themselves repeatedly denied by Sha'mar. The tepid half to the second period improved when Zion Fleming came on with the attacking midfielder, helping create chances for Scott Malone and Isaac Olofi, but the visitors couldn't extend their lead. George Honeyman received a huge ovation when he sat down Ryan Clampin with some neat dribbling on the right side of the penalty area, but his cross was overhit and Colchester were able to clear. Now, I know it's only been 3 pre-season friendlies, and but for me it's starting to look like that George Honeyman is going to be the main man, the linchpin. He's going to be probably one of the better of the signings so far. Zion Fleming, I think Zion Fleming is going to take a while to get going. Hopefully he does start to get going and he doesn't give up, but I think it's going to be a while. Remember Kavanagh last season? He was blowing hot and cold until January, and then he was just pinging them in. So hopefully it doesn't take Zion that long to get going, but maybe it might do, which is fine, because if he scores a goal in the last 10 games of the season, that might be quite helpful for us. If he doesn't score any in the beginning half of the season, that's fine, as long as other people can step up and do what needs to be done. But I'm starting to think George Honeyman is something special. Like, he's solid but still skillful as well. Takeaways: lack of tempo. Of course, pre-season matches are often meant to be pretty dull affairs. Players are rusty and many aren't ready to play 90 minutes straight away, but Millwall's win at Colchester was a particularly slow matchup. Perhaps it was because the Lions had played 4 games in 6 days, but many of the players were clearly struggling at certain periods of the match. That was to an extent part of Rowett's game plan, as the Millwall boss was keen for his players to feel an unusual level of fatigue to get them ready for the season. Yeah, and we'll go into Gary Rowett's post-match comments and we'll see exactly why the players look knackered. Remember, it's been very hot as well this week, and it's set to get hotter on Monday, Tuesday. Luckily, we got the game on Wednesday, and it's supposed to rain then, and get a bit cooler. So defenses win championships. Offense wins games, but defense wins championships. This saying might be directly related to American football rather than English football, but it remains relevant nonetheless. Millwall's defensive record last season was that of a playoff team, if not a side vying for automatic promotion. Aside from the match against Crystal Palace, the Lions have kept clean sheets in 3 of their 4 pre-season games so far. Right, it's against it's against lesser opposition. You can't really What, Bromley and Dartford? I mean, come on, seriously, you're gonna add that to the list of positives. What's best is that Mill's defence can also get on the score sheet, as Cooper showed late in the first half. Rowett has a number of tall physical centre backs that will be daunting opponents for a number of the club's championship rivals. Now, what I was impressed by, I watched the match, today's match, the Colchester match, in bits and pieces. I couldn't really sit down and focus my 100% of my attention on it because I was doing other stuff that I could not get out of. So I did see George Long make 2 point-blank saves to kind of keep Millwall's clean sheet, which was good to see. He's still very much untested, and you don't really know what you're getting with him so far. So we will see. I'm pretty sure he'll start the game against Cambridge United, as he did last season in the Carabao Cup game. So we'll see what he can do in that game. First sight at Fleming. Mill fans got to see their record signing in action for the first time at the Colchester Community Stadium, although he failed to get on a score sheet. The Dutchman played as a forward alongside Alofi when he came on after an hour, helping set up chances for his strike partner Alofi, as well as left wing back Scott Malone. Fans will be hoping he can build on his positive cameo in Mill's final 2 pre-season games next week. Indeed. So let's get into what Gary Rowett said about that game and about Mill in general. So this is also from news@den.co.uk. Boss pleases Mill seal 3rd pre-season win. Mill boss Gary Rowett was pleased with how his players coped after playing their 4th pre-season friendly of the week. The Lions recorded a 1-0 win away at Colchester United on Friday night, securing victories against Bromley and Dartford on Tuesday. While Rowett was pleased by the results, he was keen to focus on how the matches will benefit his players in the long term. I think there's some positives to come out of the games, he said. We're looking at building fitness and building the miles in the legs, and tonight was certainly on the back of one of our hardest weeks in terms of game volume. The players did a very hard session on Monday. Obviously, everybody did 90 minutes on Tuesday for the 2 friendlies, which I'm sure they would have felt in their legs. We were in on Wednesday, we were in and worked hard yesterday, so we kind of knew that today would be a little bit difficult for them, but that was done for a reason. I think they'll be a bit better for it, but I think you could see that. I thought that in the first 20 minutes we were quite bright, and in the last 20 we were quite bright. But in between we just looked a little bit laboured on the ball and a little bit tired in possession. We gave the ball away a little bit too much for my liking, but again, that's what happens in these games. So there you can see why Mill didn't look premium, didn't look at their best. They're absolutely bloody fucking knackered. He's overtraining them. He's had them playing 4 games in a week. Crystal Palace, Dartford, Bromley, and now Colchester United. And he's had them doing hard training sessions on Monday and Wednesday. Oh, and Thursday as well. So he's really putting them through the ringer, which is interesting. It is interesting, isn't it? Is that the right thing to do? Now that you could see why we're not smashing, like a lot of teams, you see them in their games in pre-season, they're smashing teams left, right and centre. Like Charlton they beat Dartford 6-1. We beat them 2-0. Because we're training and we're training and we're training. Now maybe the Charlton ain't training that much, and they could go into the game and just turn it on and show pony, do a 6-1 win. What would you rather have? The players getting fit and getting ready for that Stoke City game, the first game of the season, or do you want them to go out and entertain everyone at Dartford FC? Now ideally you want both. You would want both, but fitness comes first, according to Gary Rowett. Fitness comes first. So we've got more boss man talking. Now, obviously in today's game, Mason Bennett came off at half time. And of course, he has picked up his obligatory injury. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. Millwall boss provides Mason Bennett injury update and confident the striker's return to action. Gary Rowett reckons Tom Bradshaw, so he's injured as well. Tom Bradshaw will be fine to play on Wednesday night against Hammarby, and had a positive update about Mason Bennett's knock during Millwall's 1-0 win at Colchester United tonight. Former Derby attacker Bennett came off at half-time after a crunching tackle near the dugout seemed to be causing him some pain. Bradshaw was not in the squad for the Lions friendly against the League 2 club. Isaac Kalofi replaced Bennett for 25 at half-time. Why are you putting his age in a match report? Wait, that's kind of weird. At half-time and partnered Ben Kafobi before Zion Fleming's arrival. When asked about Bennett, Rowett said he's fine. He went in for a full-blooded challenge on the side and just caught a knee to his thigh. He's got quite a bad dead leg, so we had to take him off. Tom Bradshaw will be fine for Wednesday. He just rocked his ankle a little bit in the game. He felt fine to carry on, but just as a precaution at this stage pre-season, there's no point playing somebody with a slight injury that then becomes worse. We decided just to withdraw him from this. It was fairly early on in the Dartford game. He actually got through the game fine. He just woke up the next day and felt a little bit stiff and remembered doing it. Game, we will just give him a little bit more recovery, and that will be important for him. So there you go. Moving on to this story from Gary Rowett as well. Now this was put up in the morning, so this is also from londonnewsonline.co.uk. So Mill boss reveals friendly strategy and discusses whether he already has starting 11 in mind for Stoke City opener. Gary Rowett is set to start tapering down the game time for some of his squad as he begins to focus on Mill's championship opener against Stoke City. The Lions have slotted in a friendly against Swedish side Hammarby at the Den next Wednesday 7 PM kickoff. The two clubs are both sponsored by Husky Chocolate. Only the Barry Kitchener stand will be open for the match with a visit of Hammarby, who are halfway through their domestic season in the Allsvenskan. Mill will head to Colchester United tonight. See, this was written in the morning, and their final tune-up is at home to Ipswich Town on July 23. A 3 PM kickoff. Lions boss Rowett split his squad for 2 matches on Tuesday, a 5-0 training ground victory over Bromley in the afternoon, and then a 2-0 success at Dartford that evening. I think we'll start moving towards some of the young ones might not get as many minutes, said Rowett. Up until now, we've tried to give everyone a fair crack at the whip, give them some minutes, and they've helped us balance the teams out as well. But we might now start focusing on the ones we think can play come the first game of the season and start to use the first team players. That's not just the senior ones, a little bit more. Over the next 2 games, we'll still need to mix the teams up a little bit. Then we start looking towards the Ipswich game with more ideas of the starting 11. So does Rowett already have an inkling of who will make the cut to feature against his former club? I'm not really thinking too much about starting 11. I'm thinking more about who can play different roles for different games, who can offer us something different and impact the game. This year, I really think it's going to be about the squad. We've lost certain players and spoken previously about becoming stronger as a group and as a team. At the moment, I'm looking at probably 18 or 19 players who could all start and all be just as good as the other. I don't think whatever you see in the next 2 or 3 games, or even Stoke, and the next couple after that will be the finished 11. Everybody will play their part and be really, really important. Hammarby have filled the void left by Watford, cancelling facing the Lions on the same day. They've pulled out and left us in the lurch a little bit, but it's great to organise this match instead, said Rowett. I believe Hammarby have got a cup game on a grass pitch and they have a 4G service, so it's good for them as well. It would be nice to have that link up and a sharing of ideas. So there is Gary Rowett talking about the Colchester game. I just realised all this talk of starting 11. Did we get the team there? They didn't put up the team that played. Well, that's great, isn't it? Okay, well, I'll have to tell you that who actually played against Colchester. We'll get into that later. Mill CEO on difficult transfer market. So this was published this morning from Steve Kavanagh. This is news at den.co.uk. Mill will have had a busy summer so far, signing 4 players and breaking their transfer record to bring Zion Fleming to the Den. That 5th player that Gary Rowett said might be coming in before Friday didn't happen, did it? We suspected it was Jamie Shackleton. Now, why didn't it happen? Does it mean are we after Nathan Byrne now? Are we back in for him, seeing as he's decided to leave Derby County using the TUPE legislation? Is that why the James Shackleton deal hasn't been signed yet? Who knows, but number 5 hasn't been made yet. However, it hasn't been easy for the club to get deals over the line. The Lions are one of the last teams in the Championship to make their first signing in transfer window after a number of rumoured moves failed to materialise. Millwall aren't the only Championship club who struggle, when CEO Steve Kavanagh told News at Den that the Lions are one of a number of sides that are still facing the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic. First and foremost, it's an exceptionally difficult transfer market at the moment, Kavanagh explained. Clubs, including ourselves, have been impacted by COVID-19. We've still got the best part of $6 million in debt to pay off, but it was put around our neck as loans rather than grants to pay off HMRC, which it did. It's left the vast majority of clubs hamstringed with big debts. That's left its mark on the transfer market. League One and League Two clubs, if they're going to sell one of their best players, want top dollar. Premier League clubs are very rarely selling players down into the Championship, but if they do, they also want top dollar. Yeah, this is the thing. I don't know if you remember, I made a video about it at that time. Clubs in the Championship were given loans to tide them through COVID times. Clubs in League One and League Two got grants. They got given money. Whereas Championship teams got given money and said, you have to pay this back. So that's probably because the Championship does make money, but still, I think they want it back pretty quickly as well, within 2 years, I think. Unfortunately, recruiting from a European market hasn't been any easier for Millwall, although the club have already made one international signing in Fleming from Eredivisie side Fortuna Sittard. Despite joining the club at the end of June, it took him until Wednesday to secure his British work permit, highlighting how the process can be after how difficult the process can be after Britain left the European Union. The GBE, government body endorsement rules for buying players from overseas with the changes around Brexit, made it extremely complicated for Championship clubs. The market in which we can go overseas has gotten smaller, and that means we're competing with Premier League clubs, so again prices go up. This is why you see very silly transfer fees being paid, which means you have to be very clear on what you want to achieve and focused on what you want to do, Kavanagh added. It's competitive, and I like to think so far that we've shown some intent in that. Despite the difficulties that they face, Kavanagh is proud of how much the club have managed to accomplish so far this season. The Millwall CEO admitted that they needed to add a number of new signings before the start of the season and confirmed they were working on more players to South London as soon as possible. Oh, nice. All of us together worked hard because we knew that a big rebuild was needed this summer. We've worked hard to try and deliver that. We've now got the bulk of the squad, which on paper is looking good. We know we've probably got to add a few more to that to make sure we can deal with the cut and thrust of a very long Championship season. And you can read more from Steve Kavanagh in this week's Southwark News, which came out on Thursday, where he talks about the planning application for Mill's new training ground and why Gary Rowett is the perfect manager for the club's long-term ambitions. So if you are in a Southwark area, pop into a newsagent's or a local supermarket and pick up a copy. And if you can't, I believe you can view it by going to Southwark News' website, and you should be, if you find it there, you should be able to see an online version for free, I believe. So there you go. So we're going to move on now to this. But before we get to this, we're actually going to go to the club's official match report from the Colchester game to get the actual team that played, because the one in the News at Den did not give us the team. So here is the team. Long, Murray Wallace, Hutchinson, Cooper, Afobe, Billy Mitchell, Tyler Bury, Cresswell looked very good as well. Leonard, Bennett, Saville. And the subs were at half time. Malone came on for Murray Wallace, McNamara came on for Leonard, Olofi came on for Bennett, who was injured. And on the hour mark, Zion Fleming came on for Benik Afobe, and George Evans came on for George Saville. And the subs that weren't used were Sanford. Oh no, this is just the subs. They were used. Some of them were used. I don't know why it says subs not used. The subs, you can see who for yourselves who were and weren't used. Sanford, Biakowski. So two goalkeepers on the bench. Weird. Evans, Fleming, Alex Mitchell, Aidan Muller, Honeyman, and Topolodge. So there you go. That was the team against Colchester, and yet again we are waiting to see where the highlights land first. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on Colchester United's YouTube. It's not there yet. Maybe come back in halfway through Saturday night. It might be up by then, and you'll be able to see the highlights of that game, and it'll be very interesting to see. So let's go back to what I was going to show you from millwallfc.co.uk, which is news of partnerships. We've got 2 partnerships today. Millwall confirmed partnership with the Tumeric Co. So I think this is in terms of probably just to get a free product, I believe. So Millwall Football Club is pleased to confirm the Tumeric Co. as its official Tumeric partner. Ooh, you've got an official Tumeric partner. What next? An official oregano partner, an official rosemary partner. Renewing for a second season, the company, a bronze LED partner at the Den, will supply turmeric shots to the Lions squad to aid recovery and fight fatigue. Founded by international footballer Thomas Howe Robson-Kanu, the Tumeric Co. offers 4 great tasting blends of vegan shots, including raw turmeric original, raw turmeric and ginger, raw turmeric and beetroot, and raw turmeric vitamin C and D free. Lovely. Developed over 15 years and endorsed by leading nutritionists, the Tumeric Co. delivers great tasting shots designed to supplement anyone's daily routine and support individuals who are on their wellness journey. Providing a powerful combination of functional and natural ingredients, their core range boasts the strongest measure of raw turmeric root available on the market, 35 grams. The natural and convenient shots contain 0 added sugar or preservatives, come freshly chilled, and can be drunk alone or incorporated into food and drink, such as breakfast smoothies or in tea with hot water and honey. How about a pint of lager? You can put it in that, or would you just ruin your lager? Thomas Al Robson-Kanu, founder of the Tumeric Co., said, "After a positive first year supporting the club, it's great to continue our relationship with Millwall. We enjoy working with people that fully embrace the Tumeric Co. and our products, placing functional nutrition highly on the list of priorities. This off-season, we've been working closely with all our partners and making sure that we keep working with teams that do exactly this, like Millwall. It is hoping that the club continues to build on last season's efforts and move their way up the table, one turmeric shot at a time." Andrew Stead, head of partnerships and hospitality at Millwall Football Club, added, "We are delighted to extend our partnership with the Tumeric Co. Their shots have become a crucial part of our players' recovery after both match days and training sessions, and will work them through the demands of a long championship season. We look forward to working with Thomas and the team throughout this season and beyond." Now here's the thing. We did well last season, didn't we? Maybe it was the turmeric shots. Maybe it was the turmeric shots which did it. That's why we nearly finished in the playoffs. It was the turmeric. Lovely stuff there. Turmeric and Jack Daniels. Yeah, why not? So moving on to the other partnership, well, actually shirts, kit sponsors, which probably will be on. Will this be on the kit now when you start buying it? I don't know. If you probably already bought it, you won't have this on your kit. Millwall Football Club is pleased to announce that Wicket Group have renewed their back of shorts sponsorship for the 22-23 campaign. With more than 40 years of experience, Wicket Group are one of the most established construction companies in the UK. Wicket Group are a thriving, successful company with an excellent proven track record as social housing experts in property services to ensure a high level of operational focus. Wicket are centred around 3 operating divisions: mechanical, electrical and property services, with a head office based in Brentwood, Essex, and offices located in Dublin and Leicester. Wicket have a strong national presence. Wow. And there you can see that they're holding up the shorts because they're on the shorts, obviously. there they are. We are delighted to be partnered with Millwall again for another season, said Reese Wiggett. It's fantastic exposure for the company alongside being able to support my club. Millwall is a real passion of ours. We look forward to working with the club in the present and the future. We're delighted to have Wiggett Group back on board as back of short sponsors for the 22-23 campaign, said Andrew Stead, Head of Partnerships and Hospitality at the Den. Reese and the team provided superb backing during a successful season last year, and the club looks forward to working with them again. And you can click on their company there, and there you go. There is, I assume this is kid there. Nice. So isn't that great? A Millwall fan sponsoring the Millwall kit. What more could you want? Playing your part. Now imagine if we actually did something this season, and he can genuinely say he was part of it. He played a part. Helped the team do what they're gonna do, which we hope will be at least the playoffs. So we'll see how we get on in our new Wiggett Group shorts. We're going to finish today with this story that popped up. Another signing for Millwall. Millwall have signed a player, but it's just a player for the under-23s. So Sha'mar Lawson joins Millwall under-23s. Kevin Nugent has boosted his under-23 squad with a signing of Sha'mar Lawson ahead of the 22-23 Professional Development League campaign. The midfielder, previously with Mansfield Town, put pen to paper on Friday before training with his new teammates for the first time. Lawson will hope for some involvement in the upcoming pre-season friendlies against Dulwich Hamlet, which is on Tuesday, and Chelmsford City on Friday, the 22nd of July, with ticket details to be confirmed in the coming days. It's a bit late, yeah. I think the Dulwich Hamlet one's already sorted. I think it's just the Chelmsford City one that hasn't been sorted that much. I don't know. The Lions under 23 PDL fixture list will be confirmed in due course. And there he is with Robbo and Nugent. And he's got a lovely kit there. That very nice kit from Hummel. And that is it. So we've signed a player for the under 23s. It doesn't say where he plays. I think, isn't he midfielder? He's a midfielder, sorry. Yeah, no. I remember he was on trial. He played for Millwall under 23s in one of, I think, the last game of the season, wasn't it? He was on trial. And I when I did the match report, found out it was him. And said, oh yeah, this player was on trial for the under 23s. So they actually signed him. Well, that's good then, because he was playing very well. I believe, as far as I can remember, he did play very well in that game. So good luck to him. Welcome to Millwall, Sha'mar, and a fruitful existence for you and Millwall, hopefully in the future ahead. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye. Don't forget to drink your turmeric shot.